How's it all? All my 1/6s, quarter scalers, 1/12, 1/10. In fact, all the scalers. Welcome to another edition of Figure This, Figure That, the Don's Figure Chat. Today we're revisiting the ACI Roman General. Very dope figure. You can see him standing there in that. This is the pose I took off the movie, which I think is the pose that everyone gets the battle damage from. Very dope piece. Look, you can even see the hobnails under his boots. Let me just go over what he comes with. So there's the art box, which is really dope, from the Warriors 3 series. The Warriors 3 series came out with a kit after this fully boxed figure. I was lucky. I waited about 2.5 years, 3 years, and they were coming up at silly prices. And I managed to get 2 fully boxed figures for the price of 1. I was over the moon, eh? So hence I can show yous. There's the armor. As you can see, very nice. The detail is spot on. Those little rubber grommets there are the grommets that replicate the leather straps that hold the armor tight on his body. There's the cleaves, also nice detail. That there's the 2 felt pieces they give you for where I've got the fur there. If you come down again, that's the 2 gauntlets, and as you can see, the pleather is deteriorated badly. Hence, I'm using 2 from the How You Toys Roman General. There's his scarf. This is the fur that I'm using. The red sash with a couple of tie downs. There's the hands. Now you can notice I use Thor Ragnarok hands for him and for my Conan. His hands, ACI, they're not bad, but they're not the best. There is a couple there, as you can see. We come down to his spatha, which is the long sword, and the Gladiator, which is the short sword. Very dope, die cast. Look at the detail on the handle. Really, really nice, eh? And then you can see, this is the harness. It's deteriorated badly under the, not so much under the armor, but yeah, it's just a nightmare, man, with this pleather situation. There's the helmet. Really nice, but the plumes are really difficult to control. Really difficult. So yeah, all in all, a fantastic piece, eh? I mean, you can see him standing there. He's on a Phocian M33 body, which is the best thing I ever could have done, even if it's covered. Yeah, very nice piece indeed. The only mission is keeping those little rubber grommets holding the armor in place is a nightmare. Putting the cloak on is a nightmare, but I've worked out a trick. And yeah, those top pauldrons, once you hook them on the chest plate to get them in their actual holes, yeah, I don't know how people do it. I can't do it, and I've tried umpteen times. The head sculpt is from 1/6 kit, Kitchen. Very dope head sculpt. I think it's the best one on the market right now. The head sculpt that comes with, I'll show you that just now, is, I don't know. On a FaceTime yesterday, I showed my dad and my aunt the studio that I'm using, and they said the other head looks more like Russell Crowe. I don't know. I disagree. There's the gauntlets from the How You Toys figure. And if you look closely, I've got a real leather under tunic there. I snagged 2 a while back before I even had the figures, because I'd heard about the pleather deteriorating, because you get the same tunic in pleather that goes underneath. And really, when I took it apart, to change out to the M33 body, yeah, just disintegrated in my hands. What do you think of the pose? Quite nice, eh? I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, beautiful piece. Really nice. Look at the detail on the chest armor. And Steve Webber from ACI Customs, look. I've got his sash in the right place, finally. I've just had some armor fall over there. But yeah, I love this piece, eh? I really do. He looks fantastic, eh? In the display cabinet. And with this M33 body, I've been able to get some really dope poses with him, as you'll see as we go through the video. Yeah, I'm over the moon with him, eh? There's a lot of finicky stuff you have to do with him. A lot of tying and lacing, and I haven't got the patience for it, so I get old Mate, my partner in crime. He does most of it, because I just it'll go out the window. But yeah, very nice piece, eh? Whenever someone comes in to see my collection or visit, the first thing they go to is this piece. And then when they finally start looking and they see the other movie masterpieces, that's when they're in awe. And they just can't believe how good they are. But we all know that, don't we? Look at the detail on the handles. I mean, that's a real Roman sword. That is really, really good. The detailing on the filigree, on the scabbards, really, really good. You can't fault ACI in the production of this. They've done a stellar, stellar job. I mean, even Hot Toys has hassles with the pleather. I hate this stuff, eh? I hate the stuff. I'm trying to stay away from it. But you can't. Hang on, let me just get that out the way. It doesn't look nice. I had to put plastic just to hold its weight, so it would balance. And I'd suggest anyone who's got this figure, these hands, the Thor Ragnarok hands, they look fantastic on him. And now, the more I look at it, I don't know if those Howzit Toys gauntlets work with him. Sometimes it looks good, and then sometimes it looks, yeah, just looks off. Very lacquer though, eh? There's the scarf, which is this one. As you can see, I've got two of everything because I got the two figures. Can you see those things better now? I think it's bouncing off the white on the bottom. As I say, the ACI hands are not bad, eh? But I don't think they're as good as Hot Toys. Look at the boots, look at the detail. As I say, you can see the hobnails underneath. Can you see that? You can just see them at the end of his foot there. Yeah, really is a nice figure, eh? I think ACI did themselves with this. And you'll see as you go through the variety of poses you can get with him on Steve's Diorama from ACI Customs is just really dope. ACI Customs, you can ask them to build any diorama for you. In fact, all of the custom guys. I was thinking of getting the second one, Battle Damaged, by Bat Fanatics, Brett Little. You can see his work. He does the guys from the movie, The Small Soldiers, Archer, and Chip Hazard. And they look fantastic, eh? They look fantastic. He looks a bit woeful on the facial expression, but then again, he's in a war. So, yeah. And if you go through photos of the actual movie, still shots from it, you'll see which photo they must have took the cast off for that facial expression. I've also got the Gladiator that was made by Howzit Toys. But this is Roman general's first time in the light box, and he's looking rather fantastic in the light. Okay, let me just go over again what he comes with before we start posing away. It's the Warrior Series Roman General made by ACI. Comes in kit form or the full boxed figure like this. Really nice artwork. There's the back plate of the armor. Sorry, the front plate fell down. I'll put it here so we can have a look at it. And now one of the greaves has just fallen off. But there you go. Here's the armor. So nice detail, eh? There's the scarf. These gauntlets with the ruined leather. The greaves. The hands. The two swords, which is a really, really dope touch with the die-cast swords, and they're really well made. There's the sash. There's the felt armbands, where I've changed it out for that fur. There is his helmet. And those plumes, as I was saying, yes, man, they're a nightmare to get right. And there's the bad boy himself. You get also a lovely insert as you open the box. So you could use the box as a backdrop or the insert that he comes with once you open the box. What do you think? You like? I do. I think he's a dope piece, eh? Okay, so let's start getting into some poses, yeah? So that's the first pose. So don't hold your breath. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Posed up on the IC Customs diorama. He's in his stand easy mode, hand on hilt of sword, either waiting to give orders or waiting to speak to the emperor. You see he's got two arrows in the tree. There's also a slit there where you can place the sword from the first scene in the movie where he cuts the German's head off and his sword is left in the tree. He goes back to fetch it at the end of the battle. He's got his Legion's pennant there. I would try and pronounce what those letters stand for, but I can't. My Latin's a bit rusty. I kid you not, we did Latin at school at Kes, King Edward's VII High School. So yeah, beautiful piece, this diorama. It's made specifically for this Roman general. You can see the ground with a bit of foliage, some blood, which will come into play just now. You still really can't see the hobnails on the bottom of the boots. It's a pity. But with this Fission M33 body, the poses, they just seem so natural. You know, you put it into a pose where you think is right, and then you do an odd adjustment here and there, and he just, yeah, he stands. He's freestanding here now, even in this pose. So he's just about to say, Ave Caesar. Their salute was very similar to the Nazi salute, with their Heil Hitler, and their hand, the arm raised in the air at an angle. So he's holding the hilt of his spatha, which I can't remember if it was the Greeks and the Spartans that took influence from the Roman sword or the other way around. But yeah, it was a commonly used sword in battle. It was the Romans that came up with the tortoise, you know, where they all interlock their square shields. Again, I don't know if that was the Spartans doing it and the Romans copied them, or vice versa, or that was just the tactics of the day. This guy was really admired by his men, because as a general you don't often see them in the thick of battle, and he was in there with the best of them, hacking and chopping away. Oh, very dope figure. So you can see what I've done there. Let me back out a bit. I've put the cape on backwards. It's really difficult to get on and right, especially to get your pauldrons to stay in place at the same time. So I've turned it backwards, and then I tuck the fur into the front of the armor there, and I put the pauldrons on top. And okay, it's wrong, but it doesn't look wrong, if you know what I mean. I think it actually looks quite dope. He looks like he's in a cold country with a cold neck, and he's put his scarf on and his furs. Because, I mean, they were fighting in the height of winter, and it was against the Germanic tribes, so I can just imagine Europe in winter must have been bloody freezing. There you can see the shoes. Look at the detail. Really, really good, eh? Really good. And that's a molded shoe. It's not laces that you actually tie up. I could be wrong on that though. So I've never had to tie them, so maybe they come tied and I'm just surmising. But now you can see the detail on the armor properly now. That's really detailed, eh? Maybe you can see it better down here without the sash. There we go. And I've got the Howzit Toys Gladiator as well, that with the iconic helmet and the black armor with these two horses on, Pinto and Aurelius. But there now, can you see the detail on the sword, on the hilt, and the filigree around the scabbard? It's really nice, eh? Really, really nice. There you can see the infamous gauntlets with its peeling pleather, the greaves, neck chief, the arm fur with tie downs, the sash, the fur I'm using, the famous helmet. But now this is nowhere near as iconic as his Gladiator helmet, is it? Let's go back up again. Yeah, you can see how much I love this figure, eh? Usually, you know, in your quest for a figure, it doesn't take as long as it did to take this one. Yeah, I searched forever, eh? And some of the prices were ridiculous, because it wasn't supposed to be a big run, I don't think, and they must have sold out quickly. Then they realized more people wanted, but then they came out with the kit form. So everything you see here except the body. I don't even think it came with a head sculpt, to be honest. I think you had to source that on your own as well. And it was part of this Warrior 3 series. Damn fine piece. Look at the detail on IC Customs arrows. The quills at the end almost feel like real feathers. Very dainty, and yeah, just they work a treat, man. You can remove those, or you can leave them in. It's up to you when you do the sword scene. Let's pan out a bit so you can have a look. That's Golden Globe panning written all over it, eh? Golden Globe panning. And I do like this gripping the sword hilt pose. I think it looks really soldierly. I can't pronounce it with my new teeth in. Yes, I've got new teeth. So proud of my teeth. Okay, I shouldn't be laughing while I got the video camera in my hand. But everything is really, really, you know, up to scratch, up to scratch. As I say, the pleather tunic, you can see the detailing now better on the leather tunic that he's got now. Just adds so much to the piece. The original just deteriorated in my hand once I took the armor off. And that sucks. Because it's a big part of the figure, you know? Big part of the figure. I mean, there, maybe you can see it better now. Look at the sword harness. Look how it's deteriorated. And a lot of it you can't see because it's under the pauldron and down round his back. So you don't see it perishing. Again, horrible. Bloody horrible. Look, yes, look at him. That is dope, eh? You gotta admit. You gotta admit that's dope. Okay, enough kerfuffling. Let's get on and do another action pose. See who's going to kill next. Don't hold your breath. I've already told you, you're not a scuba diver. Breathe normal, and I shall return. Okay, that's me back. We've got him in the classic standing pose with blade, calling you on to taste the edge of his steel. Again, the fusion makes it such a privilege, not privilege, wrong word, but yeah, it allows you to just get some human body poses. I can't explain it better than that. He's just so dope to pose, you get carried away at times trying to get the perfect pose. Let's go in and have a look. Oops, excuse me. I'm disabled. Well, yeah, I'm disabled and sometimes it's difficult for me to move around. But look at that, man. Eh? He's got the spatha in his hand, which is the long blade. He's already lopped somebody's arm off. It's lying on the ground, still bleeding, so quite fresh. There you can see the hobnails. I don't know why I'm obsessed with the hobnails at the front of the boot there. So those would have been iron studs embedded into the leather. He's in the classic stance, four-sword fighting, which is front leg forward, back leg firmly on the ground with bent knee, and he can leap off the front leg or stand fast with the back. And yeah, he just looks really, really dope, eh? Eee. I do love my Roman general, lad. I'd sleep with him if I could. I'd ask him to marry me. Okay, childish, I know, childish. But he does look dope, eh? Some would even say magnificent, but I'm not one of those people. I don't like bragging about my work. I let my work do the bragging for me. I've always wanted to use that phrase. So yeah, which is also, I mentioned it just now in some of the earlier segments, what's great about these fictions is the range of movement you've got, and still looks natural, you know. There's no joints exposed. Okay, I know the body is completely covered, but still, honestly, with the fiction, it still allows you to get poses that you wouldn't get with a normal. It's just those little nuances, the twist of an arm, the bend of a leg. Yeah, it makes a hell of a difference, eh? And as I say, this is Maximus's first stint in the new studio, and he is loving it. Basking in the limelight, he is. Basking. I've even got a quiver to my voice. That's how excited I am. My Roman general will kick your Roman general's arse, eh? That's what I say. That's what I say. Michael Talbot, the challenge is on. Yeah, I can't get enough of him, eh? Let me just, before we bow out, maybe do one more pose after this with just him. No box, none of this, just him on the diorama. There's his art box, which, as you can see, is a very, very... The artwork really works. Really, really works. It's part of the Warriors 3 series by ACI. They did the box set at first and then released kit form after that. There's the front breastplate and the back plate. There's his greaves, gauntlets with scarf. There's the two pieces of felt they send with as covering, arm bicep covering. I use this fur, which was also kindly supplied by Steve from IC Customs. The Sparta is the long sword. The Gladiator is the short sword. The scabbards have beautiful filigree metalwork done on them. They are die cast. Look at the handle. You wouldn't be amiss thinking that's the real deal, you know. Excuse me. There's his sash for around his breastplate. Some more bindings for the tunic and the trousers underneath, and also to keep the fur tight around the bicep. He also used to rub his hands in soil, which helps with your grip if it starts getting slippery from blood. They would also wrap bindings around their hands for added protection and also, more importantly, a better grip. I don't know whose arm it is he's lopped off, but that is in serious trouble. There's the helmet. This is what rank would wear. Not so much the soldier. He would be in the phalanx, I think it was called. He would just have the normal, what are those plates called? The plates down the side of the face, and with just a plainer helmet. More for protection, where your generals and captains and that would be a bit more ostentatious with their armor, because you used to buy your own armor. So the richer your general, the better your kit, because they fought as free men. Yes, you'll have heard that before in the 300 movies. but it's true. And then they started drafting. The more they conquered, they need more soldiers, so then the draft came into effect. I think they were the first, to actually do an official draft. Yeah, he looks super dope, And again, you could keep him in this pose. There's absolutely no stress on any joint. There's no fold up of the fleshy material that Fission use. So yeah, all in all, you could actually call that a museum pose, you know? In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it a museum pose. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, now I'm just speaking dribblers now. Let's get on. We'll do one more pose after this. Say the scissor movement, which is the double sword. And yeah, then we'll close this one off with some 360s. And right, I'll be back just now with another pose of old Blue Eye. Posing him up for this shot actually put me in a very somber mood. You can see the anguish on his face, in his stance, thinking about fallen comrades. Must be the worst time of a battle when your emotions, your adrenaline, everything calms down and you start taking in how many men you've lost, how many men are maimed and injured. You can see it in his very stance, the dejection creeping in. And they say as a general or as a person of rank, you can't get close to your troops. But I say bullshit. You're fighting alongside of them. These men become your friends, they become your family. And even though you're commanding them, it still hurts to lose them. The only thing you can't do is start second guessing yourself along the lines of, did I do the right thing? Should I have done it sooner? It would tear you apart. And that, I think, is the privilege of rank. You can push it one side. You've got more men to consider. So back into the fray you go, lest we forget. Amazing, amazing piece. And it just put me in a very somber mood. You know, because you've got to think in your mind's eye what type of pose you're trying to achieve. And in no way am I comparing myself to a sculptor, but I mean, you've got to get the pose right for what you think it should be displaying. Does that make sense? And I know some people think of us as oversized kids still collecting toys. But it's not. It's about a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that. Some of these figures can literally take you back into the movie or back into a scenario that you face somewhere along the line in your life. Maybe a friend that's been killed in an accident, a friend that's been killed in the forces, or just a friend killed. That anguish, that you feel. You've got to try and transfer that into the figure. Melodramatic? Maybe. But that's the way I go about things. And for me it works. That's why I'm still collecting till today. It works. It helps me. I mean, look at him. Doesn't that look dope? Even though he's reflecting on death, he still carries himself like a Roman general. Yeah, beautiful piece. I know I keep on saying that, but I reiterate, a beautiful piece. Okay, so that was the last pose, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow collectors. I'm actually quite sad. I was enjoying the banter, I was enjoying the posing, but I've been thinking of putting the other Gladiator from How You Toys in the studio, because he was shot the old way. So we're just trying to not revisit the figures per se, we're just using them as practice to get us ready for when the new figures come. I mean, with all these postal delays and missing drivers, we're all waiting on not hundreds of pieces, but you know what I mean. My Lim Toys Gunslinger just shipped on Friday. So another 10 days he'll be here. We've been waiting 3.5 years for that figure. VTS have already revealed theirs, and it's out on the market. People have got it already. And I nearly pulled the plug, thinking it's not going to happen. And there we go. Okay, back to the piece in hand. I'm going to go over all the accessories again quickly, just so you can see. Okay, well, the diorama is from IC Customs, Steve Webber. So he comes with the full kit that you see with him there. Oh, it might be easier to show you here. I've still got it out. There's the back plate and your front breastplate with really awesome metalwork on the front. Made of PVC though. The greaves, which is your shin armor. The gauntlets, but the pleather has just literally rotted away. A scarf. Oh, that's right, I wanted to show you the head that they send. There it is there. So what do you think? That one. Or that one. I'll try and hold it up next to him just now. Let me just finish going over the parts. There you can see I've changed these gauntlets to the How You Toys Roman General gauntlets. And they kind of work and they kind of don't. But I mean, anything's better than those tatty old things. There's, excuse me, there's the covering, the fur covering for his arms. It's literally 2 pieces of felt. So I was sent by Steve that fur there, which I've cut into strips and did his biceps with. You see there? There's the 2 swords. The long one being the Sparta, the short one being the Gladiator. Really dope, lovely filigree on the scabbards. The handles look so real, they really do. You can see where the pleather on there is also perished on that harness for the longsword. He comes with general helmet. It comes with the red sash that goes around his breastplate. Those are bindings that you can use for his hands, you can use for the fur, and you can even use to tie back the leggings underneath there so they don't get in the way. He comes with quite a few hands, but I've moved the hands for now, so it's standard hands, you know, sword holding hands. In fact, he's got one of these sword holding hands there, because my other the Gladiator has got some Thor Ragnarok hands I borrowed from this guy's set. They look a lot better. Look at the difference with that leather patch on top. Makes a hell of a difference. That's the art box. You can still get this in kit form. I was lucky enough to get 2 fully boxed figures, but you can, as I say, get it in kit form. I don't know if it comes with a head sculpt. I don't think it does. It's just the outfit, no body, and no head. So yeah, it's been a lacquer day of working with a Roman general. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please hit subscribe, hit like, maybe even go wild and leave a comment. But me and Muate send our love to all our families and to your families. Keep safe, stay healthy. Look forward to Christmas. And the Don says, peace out.